Hi everybody, this is Consults Methodologies. Welcome. I hope everybody is having great holidays. I hope everybody has a really happy new year. Um, just wishing you the best and wishing you blessings, whoever watches this. So I was a little bit not posting stuff because I was really busy, and also because this last month I just felt really tired from the whole year. I didn't know why, but I'm back. So I wanted to discuss a little bit about I went to a march on Saturday here in Pacoima, where I live, and we were doing a march for Ayotzinapa. Oops, this is wrong. Ayotzinapa, and we carried these gloves to represent the 43 students that were disappeared by, a lot of people are saying now, by the Mexican military, and well, in collusion with the drug cartels. Story isn't clear, and there hasn't been any justice on the matter. And so we're marching for that, and it was interesting. First, I actually was holding up one of the three students. His name is Marco Antonio Gomez Molina, and I was carrying this throughout the march, and I looked very closely at his face, and it's a really beautiful face in the sense that there's a lot of hope. He's looking at the future with a lot of possibility, with a lot of brightness, with a lot of happiness, just looking to start his life. And somebody killed him, and in a really bad way. They disappeared him, and out there his mom and dad and his family are looking for him. But he's just one of the many. It's 43 plus, because there's a lot of feminicidios, a lot of girls and young women missing as well, a lot of violent crime towards women, but also men. The way violent crime has erupted, it's just it could be really overwhelming. And so we were marching, and it was interesting. We did some civil disobedience. We stopped traffic into main streets. There wasn't many of us, Saturday, the holidays. And it was kind of funny because I never done civil disobedience, actually, because I just, when I was in grad school and even in undergrad and community college, I was either working full-time, didn't really have time to do activism, even though I felt conscious towards that path. I just didn't have time for activism. And then when I was in Illinois, I was in a small town. There wasn't really much going on until I left, when there was the program signed on to secure communities to, facilitate the deportation of migrants in Champaign, and that's where I lived. But there wasn't much, but I did the union marches and all that stuff, and that's really cool. But civil disobedience is something different. It was funny because the cops were surrounding us, and I told my friend, "Hey, can we get arrested for this?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh." I was like, I got somewhere to be. But then I thought about it. I was like, wait, you have several more days until you start work. And if anything worse comes to worse, your mom's gonna, bail you out or something, and she's gonna get really pissed off, or your family is. But in thinking about, before we started the march, a lot of people were talking about how this country is sort of turning into a third world country, and how there's just a lot of surveillance. And even when the police came, we hadn't even been there 5 seconds. They just surrounded us right away. It's really interesting how surveillance and police really work or infiltrate movements. And I think that was the part that I was surprised at. And one of the things that's really interesting about the Ayotzinapa students is also, before they also departed do their march and to do to do their activism, to whatever it is they were going to protest. They were being observed by the Mexican military. There's data recorded and everything. So I thought it was really interesting that when we did our civil disobedience and stopped traffic we counted to 1, 2, 43, and then we did hands up, don't shoot. It must have been like a minute or two that we held up traffic, or maybe 3 to 5 minutes that we held up traffic. And I think that part was really really surprising to me. I mean, it shouldn't have been surprising, but being there is different than reading about it. And I think that's what I'm trying to say. But anyways, in thinking about the student and thinking about the protest before we went off, I was thinking, it brought to mind Jose Esteban Munoz when he talked about utopia and revolutionary consciousness. And just to finalize today's little mini vlog, his quote is, "Utopia has often been described as the education of desire, to want something else, to want something beside and beyond the matrix of social control. That is our life in late capitalism. Feeling revolutionary is feeling that our current situation is not enough. It is a collective escape, an exodus, a going off the script. Practicing educating hope is not simply comforting to one group's dosha at the expense of another. Concrete utopianism is basically hope to conquer a climate of hopelessness, and it's not just here in the U.S., but in Mexico, in Palestine, in Europe, in Africa, in Asia, anywhere where there's just this growing police state apparatus, and also this capitalism. And it's not just me talking about it, but it's also hip-hop artists now talking about capitalism and slavery, and you're seeing it in popular culture because it's out there. But anyways, that's just what I wanted to drop off, and the thoughts, and hopefully everybody has a good new year. And sorry this was a bit long. That's it, and have a great new year. Anyways, blessings, much love. Bye.